Michael was really different on stage than he was off stage. And when he get on stage, it's just like just a light bulb came on. And I think he felt like he had been, stolen from home, and then he had just got back home, and this is my home on stage. And he would just come alive. When my boys left Jermaine back at Motown, it hurt because Jermaine wouldn't come. But Jermaine felt that he owed his allegiance to Barry, and he had married Barry's daughter. And because Barry was the one that gave us our start. And I felt the same way. But in order to move on and progress, Joseph said he had to do it because he wanted the children to get credit for their writings and all of that. And they couldn't do that at Motown. And I just wish Jermaine, I shouldn't say luck, but I just wished he would continue, to do well, and Barry do right by him. And Barry said he was going to make Jermaine the biggest star in the world, or the biggest, that spoke like they were going to be bigger than their brothers. And the thing that I said, I wish he would, because Jermaine was my son also, so I wish him well. I remember when they were working with Gamble and Huff in Philadelphia, and I liked their sound, and I liked what they did, and they helped them out a lot. And that's when the boys first started writing too, when they were working along with them. So those were nice days, good old days, I thought. And they wrote a lot of songs that meant a lot. Michael had been doing some solos. I think he did some solos at Motown. And so he was a solo artist in the first place. But Michael never did speak about leaving the group. And I had been spoken to when Michael was still young. I think he was still in school, I forgot. One of the lawyers called me in. I don't know why, he wasn't Michael's manager. And I brought for me and Michael to come down, and he told me to tell the boys to save their money because Michael is going to go solo. I said, he can't do that. And he said, well, he don't need his brothers. I said, they need one another. And I said, Michael can't. By him being a minor, he couldn't do it anyway, And I didn't agree with it, and he didn't do it. And I felt that Michael did that solo, became a solo artist when he was young, and I didn't think he would ever leave the group. And he didn't really leave the group. He just ventured off more and more into his solo act. I don't think it was Michael's goal to become a big star like he was, or I think that whatever Michael did, he did well. And he always would tell me, at one time there were album hits, album songs. An album would have maybe 2 very nice, good songs on it that they know it's going to be hits, and then they throw anything on an album to, And he said, Mother, I don't believe in that. He would say, I think every song should be a hit. When Michael had the accident that he was burned on top of the head, somebody called me and told me Michael was in a bad accident, but they didn't tell me what it was. And so I was so worried about it, and I was getting ready to go down to where he was filming, and then came on television that they showed Michael on a gurney going into the hospital, and then I can see the beaded glove. He was out waving his hand with one glove on his hand, and so I thought then too. I knew he was. That's bad enough, but as long as I knew he was okay and still alive, I felt good. Yeah, he was coping with it good. Fine. Yeah, after I guess they gave him something to kill the pain and all, and so he was doing okay. Yeah, Michael was quite conscious of he had been burning his scalp, and he knew that. And he knew that he had to do something about it later after he got well, because I'm sure he felt that he was going to be bald in that spot. I think after he got burnt, that was the first time he was exposed to strong pain medicine, because he did have a lot of pain in that spot for a long time. When I first heard the allegations about that Jordan Chandler made, and him and his family, I was sick to my stomach, because I knew that Michael wouldn't do a thing like that. And I was wondering, why are they lying on him like that? And I can imagine how Michael must have felt. I disagreed when they settled the case by paying off. Right away the next day I called Michael, "Why did you do that?" And Michael said, "Mother, I didn't do that. I wanted to fight it to the end. But they told me, the lawyers and things told me, just go on and pay it off and settle it." And so later, I asked Johnny Cochran, why did they do that? And Johnny told me that the reason they did it was because Michael was out on tour. They had accused him of this terrible thing, and they didn't want to stop the tour, so they just paid it off. When Tom Sneddon was called in on the first case, and he did a terrible thing, he took pictures of Michael's genitals and all of that, and I think that was really bad for him to do that. I can't stand Tom Sneddon for this day, because even after the second case, he couldn't wait to put Michael in jail. Michael didn't deserve none of that. Tom Sneddon is just... Michael wrote a song about him, and he was mad about that. Tom Sneddon was. Quite naturally, I don't blame Michael. Who would stoop as low as trying to take pictures of a person's genitals and just trying to humiliate him like that? That was terrible. And I think Tom Sneddon hates Michael. The reason why, I don't know. When the second allegations came out on Michael, it bothered me, because I was wondering how he was feeling and how he was dealing with it. And I saw a different person in Michael. He became introverted, because he knew that this kid was sick. He had cancer. And Michael used to always tell me, I'd rather slit my own wrist than to hurt a child. And here they are trying to accuse me of the thing that I love best, and that's children, accuse me of molesting them. And to this day, Michael tells me that I don't trust anybody now, Mother. Some of these people are the ones that I helped, the ones that I was in trouble and I helped to get them out, ones that was sick and I paid their doctor bill, the one that had children to die and I buried them. And it was just for money, and especially this woman, Janet Arvizo, that was the mother of these children that told these lies, especially her. They caught her in other lies too, where she had tried to fraud other companies. And it was hard for me, because I knew what Michael was going through, and my heart just bled for him all the time. I feel that Tom Mesereau was the best thing that happened to Michael during that trial. I can't even find words to describe how I feel about Tom Mesereau. I really can't. Can't find words. I can't. He was one of the best things that ever happened to this family, and especially to Michael during the court room. And he's such a nice person on top of all of that. I was in court the day that we found out that Michael wasn't guilty of none of those charges, I had been praying for the truth. I didn't pray for Michael to be freed or anything like that. I prayed for the truth because I knew that if the truth would come, he would be freed. And he was. And that was the happiest day of my life, that my boy didn't have to go to prison for something he didn't do. After the trial, he had bad memories of Neverland. That's why he never went back. But he always said he didn't ever want to sell it, but he'll never live there again because it was such a circus. These people in Santa Barbara did him very bad. They had like 79 or 280 police cars and cars driving down there, just making a parade of it. And then got on television saying, "We finally got him, we finally got him." He hadn't done anything. Michael was a very trusting person. And everybody he met, he trusts them for some reason. And I think that's why Michael was taken advantage of so much. And people found out, when they found out he was trusting, they just took advantage. Joseph would always tell him, "Michael, make sure you get everybody audited, or watch your people, Michael, watch your people." He said, "I trust my people. My people are good people." But that's not the case. People smile in your face, pat you on the back, and stab you at the same time. I remember when he was young, my husband used to always tell him, "Michael, see to your business." And Michael would always say, "I trust my people." With everything, he trusts them. And Joseph would always tell him, "Sign every check and all." He'd say, "Well, I trust them." And after the trial, so many people came up there and lied on him. And he got so till he stopped trusting anybody. He used to tell me all the time, "Mother, you're the only somebody I trust. I don't trust anybody anymore." After seeing all those people come up there and lie on me, see how people have stole my money and all of that, it's over. I don't trust anyone. My favorite song is "The Man in the Mirror." All Michael's performances were good. When he did Billie Jean for the very first time and did the moonwalk, the reaction of the audience. His performance there. Michael did a lot for charity, and I was very proud of him because sometimes we'd sit down and he'd talk to me about the things that he had done, and I think that he loved doing that. He, and things like on Thanksgiving or Christmas time, sometimes on days that he and a friend would get together and he'd drive him down in the ghetto and places, and he just, like on Thanksgiving, he'd just walk around and reach in his pocket and give people $100 bills. He did a lot of charity. He did a lot of things for people. People that couldn't afford to bury their loved ones, he did a lot of that. He would only tell me about it. And it didn't have to be big people or anything, just the poor people that couldn't do it. And I was so proud of him because he had a heart. People really don't know the love that Michael had in him for other people. I wish, well, it's no way, it's too late now. Michael gave a lot to the world, but I think one of the gifts that he gave to the world was love. And And he kept singing, "Make the world a better place." Looking back over my son's life, it's like looking in a mirror, like watching television to me. Start from the day I brought him home. All the memories to me are fond memories. I can't pick out any memories that they're all fond memories to me. And every inch of his life, I've been there except the few months that he was here in California without me. And since he's been gone, many days I go back to his first cry from the doctor slapping him on his butt until his death. All his memories were fond. That's the hardest thing to me in the world. I've never lost a child. And children are supposed to bury their parents, not burying children. And that's what hurt me the most. But all the memories of Michael's been fond to me. I can't pick out any particular.